I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So the Minnesota Vikings make some moves, make some maneuvers. I'm gonna talk about two things. First, the trade for Sam Howell. Then they drafted a defensive end, linebacker, edge rusher, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins from the University of Georgia. So I definitely got to break that down. We're going to look into him, see what's he about. Is it strictly a Brian Flores draftee, et cetera, et cetera? But first off, the Vikings, we've been hearing stories from Aaron Rodgers to Tannehill to Joe Flacco. Now Sam Howell is official. That's the only story that has hit and sticks and remains official, period, bottom line, no cap, you hear me? Yeah, man, for real. Sam Howell is a Viking now. They made a trade with the Seattle Seahawks. What was the trade? What are the details of the trade? I'm going to get to that in a minute. But this has been a whole fiasco, damn near. We can finally kill that Aaron Rodgers noise. Some people still saying, oh, it's still a chance. It's still a chance. Well, this makes it very evident, very clear that Aaron Rodgers will not be a Viking. I repeat, Aaron Rodgers will not be a Viking, homie, period. So we can kill all that noise. Sam Howell is the man, and I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. Matter of fact, I think he will be damn near close to the perfect backup. We don't know player is perfect, but Sam Howell experience, been a starter in the league, can help J.J. McCarthy in certain areas, help him develop quickly and swiftly, teach him the do's and don'ts of the game, what he has experienced being a quarterback. He came from them Commanders round yonder. When he was there, oh, yeah. When he was with the Commanders, piss poor offensive line. What, at one year, he was the most sacked, most pressured quarterback in the NFL, correct? So he has some experience at getting hit in the mouth, getting back up, understanding the football, having success at the highest level. So he can definitely help mold and develop J.J. McCarthy, period, if he plays his role and does it well. Right? That's the big thing, though. But now this QB2 situation, the Vikings can finally put it behind them. Like I said, I'm going to get into the article to see what the trade was really for. But great trade, great maneuver by KWESI. No, he ain't got to lean on the so-called Will Howard pick in the draft like certain so-called experts and analysts have been predicting. 6th round, blase, blah. No, they can make maneuvers elsewhere. Get a defensive tackle, more interior rushers, offensive game, right? Cornerback, another tight end, maybe find a tight end, a receiver, et cetera, running back, whichever way they want to go, correct? They have the leisure of doing that because of this Sam Howell trade, But we're going to check the particulars in a minute. So let's get right to it. Yeah, we got Tyrion Ingram next, so stay tuned, baby. Yeah. But KWESI heating up. I'm liking the direction this draft has been going in. Got to finish strong, though. What, 2 more picks, 1 more pick, something like that? Let's get it, baby. Give me 1 second, though. Let me know. Fire them comments up, man. You already know. Feedback is much appreciated. You hear me? Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Make sure you hit that bell quickly and swiftly. Support the grind, support the channel. Let's get it. Vikings trade for QB Sam Howell in draft. They deal with Seahawks. The Vikings moved back in the 5th round of the draft and picked up a backup quarterback in the process. Let's get it, baby. Period. The Vikings have acquired quarterback Sam Howell from the Seattle Seahawks in a draft day trade they announced on Saturday. So here we go. These are the trade details. Minnesota receives Sam Howell and 172nd overall pick. Seattle gets 142nd overall pick. So basically, Seattle just moved down some spots, but it is what it is. Solid trade for both sides. The Vikings may have even won the trade as far as how close they still are from the 142nd pick, 172. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, it is what it is, dog. QB Sam Howell is in the building. Solid pickup. Period. The Vikings traded the 142nd overall pick in the 5th round to the Seahawks for pick 172 and Howell. This news comes shortly after they took Georgia defensive lineman Tyrion Ingram Dawkins with pick number 139 to start the 5th round. That answers Minnesota's backup QB question. Howell, 24. Oh, he's only 24. He's only 24. All right, bet. Let's get it. Was a 5th round pick by the Commanders out of North Carolina in 2022. He started all 17 games for Washington in 2023 and led the league in pass attempts and interceptions, throwing for nearly 4,000 yards with 21 touchdowns and 21 picks. That's a lot of picks, homeboy. He was also sacked in NFL worst 65 times that season. Exactly. That's the season I'm talking about. He was dominated, bro. It was piss poor trench play from the Commanders. And he still pull up 21 touchdowns. Now subtract the interceptions. But man, you under pressure all day, dog. All day, sacked 65 times. Would you throw interceptions? Like I said, I don't care if you Patrick Mahomes. And we saw that break down in the Super Bowl. You ain't got protection. Homie. It is a wrap. It's over with. Huh? So Howell really wasn't given a fair shot, was he? Excuse me. Period, though. Howell was traded to the Seahawks in March 2024 and spent last season as their backup behind Geno Smith, appearing in 2 games, with Seattle acquiring Sam Darnold to be its new starter this year, signing Drew Lock to be his backup, and then drafting Alabama's Jalen Milroe as a developmental option. It became apparent that Howell was likely to be traded. Minnesota has proven to be a good landing spot for any quarterback. Howell, who has a full season of NFL starting experience under his belt, can come in and learn under Kevin O'Connell while stepping into the role of JJ McCarthy's backup. Let's win. He gives him a higher floor than now QB3 Brett Ripien if McCarthy has to miss any time in 2025. Howell is set to make $1.1 million in the final year of his rookie deal. He'll be a free agent next spring. Must be nice, dog. Must be nice, huh? Howell just sit back and be a quarterback, a backup quarterback, ride the pine, make $1.1 million and still shine. You hear? Shit, $1.1 million. Who wouldn't sit on a bench comfortably, baby? Period. If that's your role as an NFL player, that's what you are, who you are, strictly a backup, huh? Embrace that role, baby. Take that role head on. Dominate that motherfucking role. Yeah, I cussed. Oh, vulgar. Come on now. Stop the cap. We talking about football around yonder. But yeah, 1.1 million to chill when it's real. All right, bet. Take that all day, right? I'll take that all day. Period, homie. Now I'm sure he wants the chance to ball. And, of course, if he had it his way, he'll get a shot at being the number 1 quarterback. But he knows what's up. He knows the game, his role. Period, homie. JJ McCarthy is the man. It's his job to help develop, be there, kick some knowledge, some game, free game to the man of the future. No disrespect to Howell, solid backup. That's his role journey in the NFL. Let's get it, baby, and let's win. The Vikings backup QB question was one that lingered for a while after they watched Darnold, Daniel Jones, and Nick Mullins depart in free agency. There was the whole Aaron Rodgers drama for a while, plus speculative discussions about the unlikely possibility of a trade that would bring Kirk Cousins back to Minnesota. Now we have the answer. Man, if they don't stop talking about Kirk Cousins, bum-ass chump punk, highway robbery committing punk chump, get up out of here. Stay out the building, bro. It's over with for Kirk, homie. Stop talking about it. He's no longer a Viking, never was, never has been, in my opinion. Period, homie. Stand on that, believe that, 10 toes down. SKOL Vikes will lose or draw heavy. In Howell, the Vikings land a backup QB who is still young but has experience and some arm talent for O'Connell and his staff to work with. It's a move that had been rumored for weeks and makes plenty of sense. Oh, definitely a lot of sense. A lot of sense, homie. A lot of sense, bro. Period, homie. Definitely makes a lot of sense, bro. If you ask me. Quasi maneuvering once again. Now he doesn't have to waste. I won't say waste, but use a pick on a Will Howard, so to say, or any other quarterback late in the 6th round. He can get down, really boogie down and do things his way. He's not forced to reach for a backup quarterback. He received an experience, ready to play if need be, ready to rock and roll, veteran QB with experience, the good, the bad, the uglies, the ups and downs. Sam Howell has experienced all of that, correct? Heavy, baby, let's get it. Can't take that for granted, period. Let's get it, dog. That's it right there. That's the first story. Next up, let's just go ahead and hop into it. We know before this trade, right, the Vikings drafted, like I say, Tyrion Ingram, Dawkins from the University of Georgia, homie. So let's just get into it real quick. No need to waste no time. Yeah. 2025 NFL Draft. Minnesota Vikings select Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, a defensive lineman for Brian Flores. Now, a lot of people are going to say Brian Flores has his name written all on this, and he should have major influence in who the Vikings pick, especially on the defensive side of the ball, period. There's nothing wrong with that. Collaboration, huh? We have another pick for Minnesota Vikings in the 2025 NFL Draft, and this time KWESI Adolfo-Mensah and company have decided to move things over to the defensive side after going offense with their first two picks. All right, cool. Boom. With the 139th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings have selected defensive lineman Tyrion Ingram Dawkins from the University of Georgia. Ingram Dawkins was an early entry into this year's NFL draft, foregoing his senior year of eligibility. Highly recruited coming out of high school, Ingram Dawkins received 30 scholarship offers and nearly went to either South Carolina or Clemson before finally deciding to head to Athens. He played in 37 games for the Bulldogs, starting 10 of them. He missed 6 games in 2023 because of a foot injury and finished this past season with 8 tackles for loss as well as 3 sacks. Given what we've seen from the Philadelphia Eagles in recent years, there are worse strategies than taking defensive players from Georgia, that's for sure. Hey, Georgia putting them out there, dog. Shout out Georgia, no disrespect, respect. But you know what it is. Roll Tide full of pride, win, lose, or draw, dog. You hear me? Yeah, you dig me, you get my drift. We here, the standard is back. Dan Brugler of The Athletic has Ingram Dawkins as the number 20 edge rusher in this year's draft class. Here's what Brugler has to say about Tyrion Ingram Dawkins. I really don't care. And before we get to that, date of birth, June 26, 2003, only 21 years old, University of Georgia, 5th round, 139th overall, height 6'5", so he's a tall dude, weight 280 pounds, tall and big. Now, can he fly? That's the big question. Can he fly? I am forced to believe if Brian Flores had influence with drafting him, he can fly, he can run, he has speed. Get to that later, baby. A one-year starter at Georgia, Ingram Dawkins was used across the defensive line in head coach Kirby Smart's scheme, meaning he's versatile, obviously very versatile. You can put him in any position and he can succeed. Great news for the Vikes. Spending most of his time head up on the tackle or outside on the edge. With just 37 tackles in 37 career games, his stat sheet isn't impressive, but he flashed in a rotational role, 38.3 defensive snaps per game in 24. Although his pass rush instincts are developing still, Ingram Dawkins, who is naturally left-handed, plays with first step burst and agility to attack the pocket from different angles. 4.34 seconds short shuttle was third best amongst all D-line and edge prospects at the NFL Combine. So very good 4.3 second short shuttle, meaning he can move into space. Short time period, short burst, explosions quickly and swiftly. He can get out of his cut, get out of his position, right? Get out of his stance and attack. Be in explosive mode early, homie. Early was third best. So he was in the top 5 percentile, dog. Top 5 percentile / projectile. So you cannot take that for granted. So the big boy is moving. Where it matters most, too, in short area distance, dog. Getting to the quarterback, getting to the running back, breaking down the offensive lineman and getting past him, swerving past him. All right, here we go. Now, will he be a starter? Will he be a rotational guy? 5th round pick, you're pretty much expecting him to at least be a rotational guy early in his career. Potentially, rare occasion, he could become a starter or be on the field a lot, period, though. But this guy has the size, power, agility, athletic speed, etc. Power, a lot of things to work on for him to be a certified player in the NFL like any other player. But 5th round, you're expecting him to at least be in a rotation, experience in the field, experience some game time. Now, as the offseason goes on, workouts, training camp, rookie camp, etc. You're going to see more and more, hear more and more about him. Yeah, period. But it will be very rare if he comes in right away and just, oh man, just appalls everyone. Everyone is so excited about him. If he just shocks the whole Vikings organization. Now, it can happen. You hear me? Definitely, homie, but very rare, very more less likely than for him to be a solid special teamer maybe and then get in a rotation as the season goes along. Period, homie. In the run game, he can stack blocks with his hands to defend multiple gaps, but he isn't a technician, and his struggles as a tackler must be addressed. Facts. Overall, Ingram Dawkins doesn't have a strong body of work, but if you grade to the flashes and trust the size and athletic traits, it is easy to be excited about his pro potential. He offers inside-outside versatility. Some NFL teams view him as more of an edge presence. Others want his explosiveness over the B gap. And like I say, bro, work and development, player development. Everybody's good. Who's there mentally, physically, etc., spiritually, etc. Huh? How much can a coach or staff get out of them? Can you develop them to reach their maximum potential, homie? Do they have that in them? You know, but we will see. We shall see, period. Ingram Dawkins sounds like he was the sort of physical tools that Brian Flores could get a great deal of use out of. And we know what flow does. We're speaking about development, player-coach relationships. Brian Flores may do that better than anybody in the league, anybody in the NFL, dog. No disrespect, right? Maybe even better than Kevin O'Connell, the QB whisperer. Brian Flores brings the best, I repeat, the best out of his players. Look what he has done with the Vikings, baby organization. Lack of talent in certain areas. Now he's building his roster, building his depth chart, getting the players he wants to in the building, dog, to really form and scheme around his defense, right? The right players that fit his coverages, dog. Attack mode, aggressive. Secondary, second level, graded man-to-man coverage can hold their own. Fast guys, physical, powerful guys, right? Up front, boom. So we see it all coming into fruition, baby. Got to be excited about the future, present and future for the Minnesota Vikings, dog. Got to love it. I'm here for it. I want some more of it, baby. Heavy. Let's go. SKOL Vikes. Let them sleep. Let them keep talking. We're going to walk heavy. Walk on their ass quickly and swiftly, bro. Period. You hear me? And then it says, welcome to Minnesota, Tyrion, Ingram, Dawkins. Hell yeah, bro. SKOL Vikes. Welcome, big dog. Welcome, man. And that's pretty much it for the articles, man. You hear me? That's what it is, baby. But yeah, so definitely excited. A project for Flores. But like I said, we've seen him do spectacular things with so-called players who are just projects, homie. I.e., what he do for Patrick Jones II? Got him a bag. You hear me, dog? What he do for all his players? Got them bags, my boy. What he do for D Hunt? Bag. You hear me, my boy, dog? Yeah, bro. Look how he's improved Harrison Phillips' game. Jonathan Bullard. Who is Jonathan Bullard? Put in the Flores scheme. He looked good at times. Looked great at times, homie. Look how Jerry Tillery performed, and he's done nothing for 8 years. 8 years he's been in the league, baby, round yonder. Done nothing, quiet, piss poor. Had a successful, really, first season. Get an opportunity. This is a guy who was damn near on the streets, and Flores changed his game. Put him in the right position to win. Huh? Lack of personnel, and Brian Flores still raised and caused hell. Come on, bro. Stop the cap. Respect that man. Respect that man round yonder. Period. But that's the video, bro. Fire them comments up. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Hit that bell. Support the grind, support the channel, baby. Takes less than 1 second. Why not? You hear me? Let me know how you feeling. How you feeling about the Vikings draft thus far? How you feel about Sam Howell, my bad, thus far, huh? Let me know, man. Feedback is much appreciated once again. Big SKOL here. SKOL Vikes, win, lose, or draw, man, forever. Believe that. And guess what? We run the North like that. Yeah.